Hello everyone, and welcome to your Money Q&A question of the day. I'm your host Stacy Johnson, and this answer is brought to you by MoneyTalksNews.com, serving up the best in personal finance news and advice since 1991. Today's question comes from Bert, and I will read it to you. It says, can you discuss credit counseling companies, third parties that work with your creditors? Do they do anything I couldn't do myself? Are these third parties likely to get better terms for me to pay back creditors than I could get myself? Will they work to help consolidate payday loans? Well, let's answer these questions one at a time. First, let's define what a credit counselor is. There's a lot of organizations out there, most nonprofit, that will stand between you and your creditors and help you get out of debt. They may put you on what's called a debt management program, which means that you'll be sending them a check every month and they'll be dividing that check among your various creditors. So see how they get between you and the people you owe money to. They also may try to negotiate lower rates, maybe get some fees waived, and do other things that might help you pay off that debt as soon as possible. Now, these debt management programs come with some drawbacks. For example, they ask you not to use credit during the time it takes to pay back those debts. It may take some time, average maybe like 4 years to pay off those debts. But trust me, I've known many people that have done these things before, and they are really, really a great thing to do. They beat the heck out of staring at the ceiling at night, wondering how your bills are going to get paid. They also beat the heck out of your getting called all the time by creditors demanding money. So credit counseling can work really well. Now let's go back and look at Bert's questions. Do they do anything I couldn't do myself? Theoretically, Bert, they don't. There's no law that prevents you from calling up your creditors and trying to do some sort of repayment program. However, these nonprofit credit counselors normally charge nothing to talk to you and very little if they put you on a debt management program. In fact, if you can't afford it, they won't even charge you for that. So if it doesn't cost anything and you can avail yourself of the resources brought to the table by professional credit counselors, I would suggest that you do that. Now, I've been on the board of directors for 2 different credit counseling agencies in the U.S. over the years, and I know how these companies work. In fact, one of my first news stories back in 1991 was about credit counseling. So I know a lot about this business, and I'm telling you, I think if you get the right agency, you're doing yourself a favor by dealing with them. Let's answer the next question. Are these third parties likely to get better terms than I could get myself? I think I just answered that. They probably will. Not necessarily, but they probably will get you better terms than you would get yourself. Certainly, they'll do it with a lot less effort on your part. The final question was, will they work to help consolidate payday loans? A quality credit counselor should be able to help you with almost any kind of loan. They specialize often in credit cards because credit card debt is so common, and they already have established relationships with major banks, so that they specialize in credit card debt. But any quality credit counselor should be able to help you with just about any kind of debt, at least as far as advice goes. I hope that answers your question, Bert. One more thing I want to emphasize, though, too. We have a relationship with a credit counseling agency. There are plenty of ways you can find one, but if you want to go to MoneyTalksNews.com and go to our Solution Center and then click on Debt Help, we can hook you up with a quality credit counselor. And one last thing, I want to warn you about something. Be careful there's a million of these credit counselors out there. Be careful about just picking up the phone and calling anyone at random, because some of these people are not on the up and up. It's an industry that's really rife with ripoff. So if you don't use the Solution Center at MoneyTalksNews.com, that's fine, but make sure you check out those companies. Another place you might be able to go is NFCC, the National Foundation of Credit Counseling. They can also hook you up with quality companies. And I've known about these things for 20 years. NFCC's been around a very long time. You can trust their recommendations. Okay, guys, hope that answers that question for you, Bert. And that leaves us only with our quote of the day. This one comes to us from Oscar Wilde, the famous playwright, poet, and author. And he says, "Time is a waste of money." Interesting way to put it, Oscar. You guys have a profitable day. Meet me right here next time.